Gun Talk. Brought to you by Sturm Ruger & Company, Springfield Armory, and by Smith & Wesson.
When the subject of super accurate .22 rifles is discussed, one name always comes up. Jim Clark has been a national and world champion competitive shooter for decades. He's also a world-class gunsmith and innovator, and is widely credited with creating the accurized Ruger 10/22 rifle. Jim gets his shooting and gunsmithing skills naturally. His father, Jim Clark Sr., was a national champion in traditional bullseye pistol shooting. Jim Sr. was also known as a top gunsmith, specializing in 1911 and Ruger Rimfire pistols. Jim's sister, Kay, is a national champion competitive shooter and instructor. Even Jim's brother-in-law, Kay's husband, Jerry Michalik, is part of this shooting dynasty. Michalik has won numerous championships and is considered the fastest shooter with a double-action revolver ever. At Clark Custom Guns, Jim and his team of gunsmiths work on firearms sent from around the world. Clark also develops and markets dozens of parts and innovations favored by shooters. But a significant part of Clark's business is accurizing the Ruger 10/22 rifle.
Rimfire has always been a big part of our operation, even though we're well known for the 1911s, but 22s have always been a big part of us. And in the early 50s, my dad went to San Antonio shooting a bullseye match and set a record with a standard out-of-the-box Ruger. Someone at the match sent that target and a note to Bill Ruger saying, if you notice an increase in sales in this area, this might have something to do with it. And sure enough, a few days later, Bill Ruger calls on the phone and wants to know if we want to be a distributor for Ruger firearms. He also sent my dad a pistol. If you want to do any experimenting, here is the gun to do it on. And this is actually the gun that my dad set all his records with. I think 19 national records in rimfire with this pistol.
So it was natural that Bill Ruger and Jim Clark would form a connection that would last the rest of their lives. Just as there are things which need to be done to get the best accuracy, there is at least one thing you should not do to a 10/22. With the 10/22, people will take a nice gun that really is accurized and shoots well, and then they'll say, well, I'll free float the barrel, because they're used to free floating a barrel on a centerfire.
They are. The trouble is, of course, you're dealing with an aluminum action. You don't free float a barrel when it's in an aluminum action. In a steel action, you can get away with it.
So you need support out there.
You need some support on the front. And the routing of the stock is a critical stage of the accuracy on a 10/22.
And that's part of what you do
with
these things. Okay. A small change in the chamber, that part of the barrel where the cartridge sits, returns huge accuracy dividends.
The quality of the barrels are of utmost importance on the accuracy. Also, the chambering we do, we don't have any bullet jump, where on most standard factory chambers, the bullet has to jump anywhere from 50 to 60 thousandths to hit the rifling. Our barrels are cut with separate reamers to where we can adjust the bullet jump actually for whatever load you want. If you have a particular load that you like, send us the bullet and we'll chamber the gun for it.
You don't have to use a custom barrel to get impressive accuracy if Jim rechambers it.
I can take a factory barrel, shorten the barrel, rechamber it to where the bullet doesn't jump to hit the rifling and improve on the accuracy.
Coming up, Jim Clark shows us just how accurate a .22 can be.